Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, everyone. I'm just gonna give everyone a bit of time to, at least it's chilly, guys. So yeah, I'm sure we're all gathered here with our hoodies and our gowns. And I've got my cup of coffee, so to keep me awake because I am really out of it. How's your Friday, guys? How's your Friday? Please help me tap the screen. Let's get as many people as we can into the live. We're going to be covering a lot of ground. I'm so excited about those sessions. And I hope you're equally excited. So if you have a friend that's looking to know how to navigate the digital landscape, please let them know we're live. And we'll start in just a minute. Let's see if we can get more people to join in. If you're not as yet following me, please do so. Click on the follow button so you get notifications every time we go live for the special sessions. So today, you're gonna pardon me, my eyes look so wide. You're gonna pardon me, I don't have my glasses on, but I'm gonna try to squint. And if you see me holding the book up this close, just know that it's because yeah. And the main reason I didn't get my glass on is because the ring light always reflects on the glass and it then causes me to even squint even further. Emuhle Hadebe, thank you so much for joining in. I'm not as yet accepting people to come on to the live to speak, but I've got the panel up specifically for when we enter the question and answer sessions. So you can request it, or just pop you up there, and then I'll invite you as and when it's time for us to take questions. So thank you to everyone who's joined in. Please, let's continue liking the live so we can get it onto as many people as possible. I'd greatly appreciate that. So to start off, we're going to be looking at chapter 1. Just pardon me. So we're going to be looking at chapter 1. In chapter 1, we're looking at 2 subsections of chapter 1. Okay, my table is a bit wobbly. We're going to be looking at 2 subsections. Let me just do this just to create some. I hope my sound is clear and everyone can hear me. So you are more than welcome to drop any questions or any comments in the comment section. We're going to be talking about mastering digital persuasion. What is mastering digital persuasion? What's the book all about? Who is it for? We're going to get into all of that during the course of this. But most importantly, it's for us to go through the content of this amazing value add into the digital sector. Okay, so most of us get onto social media, and we get onto social media, we get onto various digital platforms out of curiosity. You know, you own a business and you're thinking to yourself, okay, how do I get my product out there? It's quite obvious that everything has gone digital. We all know that. Literally everything, whether you're selling products, you're selling services, you're going to look for a way to talk about your niche online, but you're not generating the kind of attention that you wish you could generate, or you're not converting any of your ads into any form of sales or inquiry. It's just not happening. And the greatest question that everyone has is, but what's the problem? I'm doing everything they said I should do. I'm posting consistently on a daily basis. I've done my research on my market. At what time are they on social platforms? When do I need to post? I'm getting the views, but I'm not able to convert those views, or whoever your audience is, into a client or even an inquiry at the least. I mean, if you're putting something out there, you're trying to get the attention in. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the psychology of persuasion, and we're going to be talking about 2 subsections of our chapter 1, which is the psychology of persuasion. So just to briefly give you a highlight of the book, I published a book last year, This is the book. You get it in digital and in hard copy. So if you are interested, just drop me a DM. It's the easiest way to go about it. I'll give you all the details about where and how you can get the book. The books are readily available. If you are somebody that prefers to read off your laptop or your tablet, off your phone, then the digital copy you get almost instantly after making payment. But that's not why we're here today. So we're going to be talking about this amazing book that I put together. I in the last week's session on Facebook, I did show that I actually wrote a love letter to myself. So all hard copies come with an autograph. I wrote a love letter to myself. This is actually the first copy that was printed of the book, and I've kept it. And I think this will be one of the heirlooms for my children and my children's children. You know, mommy's first book or grandma's first book that she published. Not grandma's book, but grandma's first book that she published. So I've been keeping this book ever since. I'm a bad reader. I know the culture of reading books is you don't write in books. I do. It's my book. It's my copy. So we're going to be talking about chapter 1, which is the psychology of persuasion, and we're looking at two first key elements, which is key psychological principles of persuasion. And in this, I'm going to talk about social proof. I'm also going to talk about authority on the digital landscape. So somebody might be wondering, but what do I mean social proof? What am I talking about, right? So social proof, in essence, the basis and the primary of social proof is that people, the psychology behind it is that people are more prone to do or to accept as truth what they see other people do. And I'm going to take you through a few things that I've highlighted in the book, right? I call social proof the power of the crowd. I call social proof the power of the crowd. So people are more prone to do what other people are doing, whether it is seeing a skincare brand. For instance, if I'm to say, if anyone is wondering, why is it that my skin looks this? Well, I noticed I've got a little zit over there, so don't mind the zit. But if people were to ask me, what do I use for my skin? For instance, in this lives every Friday, when I come on at 9 o'clock and I start telling people that the reason my skin looks like this is because of Vaseline. I use Vaseline on my skin. I don't, but I'm just saying. I use Vaseline on my skin. People are more prone, especially, you see, the things that are advertised unintentionally or intentionally on TikTok. You find them off the shelves. Why? Because a lot of people believe that that is the truth, because they've seen other people use the product, or they've seen other people talk about the product, insinuating that the product is the reason they've got certain and specific results, right? That is social proof. It's a psychological principle that is used in marketing, general marketing, like traditional marketing or digital marketing. So social proof is one of the principles. And one might be wondering, why? But why are it's human psychology. You know, if someone can verify it for me, it saves me time to try it. It saves me finances, because I'm not going to buy a product and find out that it doesn't actually work. If 5 other people have used it and they all affirm the same results, then chances are this product works, and that's why I'm going to buy it. So now let's trickle it down to why it's so important for people to get that. You know, we all know of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and one of the needs that Maslow elaborates on is the need for acceptance. So what social proof also does is it gives people a feeling of belonging. You know, I'm amongst people that have tried and tested. I'm amongst people that use this. I'm amongst people that use that. There's the dark spot correcting serum that everyone's talking about. There's so many knockoffs of that in the market. So many knockoffs of them in the market. But they still generate so many sales because a few people came out and said the serum works. And I think the serum goes for, on TikTok shop, the serum goes for around $400, right? A lot of people are rushing it off the shelves because somebody came on TikTok, or a few people came on TikTok and testified that this product works. So one might be asking themselves, so okay, I keep on forgetting that I'm Maneo and that I'm King of Queens on TikTok. But my name is Maneo, and I'm sure everyone knows that my name is Maneo Scott. So someone might be wondering, Maneo, so how do I then apply this principle into my business? In the book, I talk about a gentleman, and I think that's why I just gravitate to using skincare as an example to elaborate this principle. A guy who started a skincare product range. He had good products, amazing products. But unfortunately, because he did not know how to reach the market, his products were not being bought. So how did he apply social proof? So as a business owner, you are now convinced, or you now know about this principle and the strategy that has been tried and tested, and everyone uses it and it's working. Like I say, the strategies that I share in the book are blueprints, and I don't just use one scenario of application. I'll show you, there's a lot of other examples of companies that every time you read through a page, you'd go, aha, yes, they do that. Yes, they do that to prove that this is a blueprint. What are blueprints? Blueprints are strategies that have been tried and tested. And should you employ the same strategies, you will get the same results. So that's how blueprint works. So this young man had the skincare range and was finding it difficult to break into the market and wanted to apply social proof as a strategy to get the attention he needs. On the digital landscape, you need to remember this. On the digital landscape, and when I say digital landscape, I'm talking about all digital platforms, irrespective of whether it's TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, what do they call Twitter now? X. There's so many, Snapchat, there's so many that just literally sprout out of the ground every day. There's a new app that's been developed. There's a new app that's been introduced. It doesn't matter where it is. It's a digital landscape, right? When you'll hear me say that a lot. It's just referring to the various platforms that are available for you to exercise the strategies. So he wasn't getting the attention. And I'm saying this for you to know that, remember that on the digital landscape, attention is the currency that we use. So if you can't grab the attention long enough to convince your audience about whatever product you are selling, then you have lost it. So attention is currency on digital platforms. It doesn't matter where. It could be on your website. It could be through email marketing, where you're sending an email. If you're not going to catch your client's attention or your prospective client's attention within the first 2 lines that you send on that email, you are far from turning or converting whoever it is into a client. Okay. So this gentleman did this. This is how he applied social proof. And he's seen it. We've all seen it. We've seen it by the coffee shops. I remember last week, Saturday, when I was on Facebook, because on Facebook, I have the sessions every Saturday at 11. I made mention of, and this coffee shop always escapes my mind every time I want to talk about it. This popular coffee shop that sprouted out in South Africa, or maybe I came to know about it during COVID times. It's got a crown. I see it like it's got a crown. It's green and white. What's the Starbucks? Starbucks. So Starbucks always had a queue outside. There was always a queue at Starbucks. At Mall of Africa, there was always a queue. Regardless, there'll constantly be a queue outside, and I'll always be wondering to myself, what's so special about their coffee that people will queue up? And I'm quite impatient myself, and I'm not much of a coffee fan. I have my coffee in a very special way. I don't think anyone would have it. Thanks, Mo. I see you. Welcome. Thank you so much. I would always be wondering, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one that's wondering, what's the big deal about this coffee shop? Why is it that everyone is queuing up for this coffee? And they might be just selling ordinary coffee, but let me tell you this, that is social proof. They didn't grab my attention long enough because I'm not a coffee person. Maybe I've dropped in to have a hazelnut latte there and there, but I wouldn't say that I am a consistent client of Starbucks, right? Because they sell coffee and it's not my niche, it's not up my alley, right? But somebody that loves coffee and didn't know about the brand, as soon as they cited that long queue, nobody needs to ask what are they selling in there. So the brand awareness, they've branded, you can see it's a coffee shop. People will definitely, if coffee is your thing, you are definitely going to walk in. And then they introduced iced coffee and everyone was ranting about iced coffee. That is social proof. That's the principle of social proof. I'll give you another example. There was this drink. I remember my daughter at one point, as Prime. It was so expensive when it came out. I don't know if there are any parents here, but it was so costly as at the time it came out. I think is it a 400 mil? Was it a 400 mil? It was going for 100 odd as at that time when it just landed in South Africa and all the kids were having it. My daughter wanted it. And I was like, Lord, you are not having this. I looked at the nutritional information and I was like, no, there's too much sugar in this. You're not having this. And that's how I could escape that. But exactly more, you were lining up with your son. Why? Because all his friends were having it. That's social proof. So he wants to have it because his friends were having it. So people are made like that. The psychology of human beings is definitely like that. We want to feel like we belong. We want to do what other people are doing. It all works behind the signs of what Maslow described as the need to belong. Okay, so that's how you can capitalize on social proof, by applying it in your business. So this gentleman that I was telling you about that started a skincare range, got a few other people, testimonials from a few of his past clients, and asked, please, I'll send you, I know the products that you bought will be exhausted in 2 months or 3 months. If you would send me your before and after pictures and the time in which you've used if you've used the product for like 2 months or you've used the product for 6 weeks, I think it's 6 weeks, because with products, you literally start seeing a difference in skin or in either your tone, clarity, or whatever between 4 to 6 weeks of usage. If you get me a before picture and get me a picture within that 4 to 6 weeks range, I will then send you free products. Okay, so that was the start off. This is from his previous clients, and he was able to get those pictures. His sales went up because now people were able to see the evidence, real people I can relate to, people that had the same problem with me. I had melasma. This guy's products help with melasma. I've got pigmentation issues. This product helps with pigmentation. I've got acne. This product helps with acne. And in that way, he was able to convert his audience into his clients by using social proof. The more pictures they saw that related to whatever situation they're going through, they then were converted from just an audience. I mean, what's going to catch my attention is me getting onto your social media, and I can see that you're talking about the same problem that I have. It's not only about me wanting to have a clear and glowing skin. Everyone wants that. Every product says that's what they do. And truthfully, just if you clean your face twice a day and you have a morning and evening routine, add, add some vitamin C into your routine, add Reactin into your routine, add this, add that, hyaluronic acid, add all of these things, your skin will plump up and it will be clear, especially if you don't have any skin issues. But people need to be able to identify, resonate with whatever challenge or problem you are solving with your product or services. So that is in terms of products. That's how social proof could be used. So let's go to service. You're like, Maneo, but I don't have a product. I'm selling services. What do? I'm carpet cleaner, or I run a laundromat and I'm struggling to get clients on the digital landscape. How do I do that? Yes, you can do social proof either by getting people to queue. But the thing is, guys, and I always emphasize this during the sessions, whatever strategies that are shared here, please apply them ethically. The intention of me putting this book together was because I've seen how entrepreneurs, business people, organizations, throughout my 13 plus years of consulting, I have seen that a lot of business owners struggle with breaking into the market because their communication strategies are off. They are off, they are one-sided. All you're doing is you're putting information out there. No one is going to resonate with just information, an influx of information. The digital landscape is full of information. There's nothing that I'm looking for that I cannot find on the digital platforms. But there needs to be a hook, something that's going to grab my attention long enough for me to want to buy from you. And that is, social proof is one of those, because it's there, it's in your face, the evidence is there. I've proven that my product works, and this is what it can do for you. So you convert that person to a client. So let's get into services. So if your business is service-based, how then do you use social proof? First and foremost, you're going to need those testimonials. So same principles apply. Go to your previous clients, ask for testimonials, offer them a free wash. You're not going to lose out on anything. I call this the background sale. Once you offer a free wash to someone, you're not only, also talk about it in the book, you're not only trying to get evidence of your service, but you're also buying loyalty. I'll get to it when I get to the section where I talk about give and take. But the background sale, what it actually does is you're giving up a sale, but in return, you're going to get 10 more sales. And I kid you not, that person, you're now building a rapport with the very individual that you're asking for testimonials from. And initially, I promise you, it's going to feel like, oh, you cringe at it. But you need to keep focused. Like, why should I now go ask this person for a testimony? It's like now I'm forcing it. No, I'll do a free wash, and with the free wash, just tell me what you thought of it. It's just the condition. It's a give and take. You get what you need and you give what you give. This is business. So if you're just trying to make a few coins, that's fine. That's a hobby. But if you're trying to build a business and you take your business seriously, you need to understand the principle of give and take. And I talk about it in the book as well. So give away a few services for free. In return, get testimonials. Those testimonials are going to last on your profile for the next 3 to 4 years. Imagine one testimonial, or 5 or 6. Get as much as you can, or 7. You can even make it a business module that every 3 months you give away 10 free washes. You give away 10 free washes for 10 testimonials. That will give you longevity, because I'm not going to look, how do you feel when you go read up on a product that you want to buy? Let's say, for instance, you want to buy a tablet for your child, and you go onto whatever online shopping platform, and the only reviews that you get there are reviews from 2021. Would you most likely buy that product, even if they're good reviews? Absolutely not, because from 2021, you got this guy or this manufacturer or this seller might have changed whoever where they buy their products or where they source their products. They could have changed. And if between that time and the time I want to buy, there's one bad review, then it already casts doubt. And it takes away what we're going to be talking about just now, which is trust. Okay, so just put it into your business as as your model, that every 3 months you are going to now give away 10 vouchers in exchange for testimonies. how my service helped you, how my service has impacted your business, or how it's impacted your home. If you're cleaning carpets, you ask for reviews right away in exchange for a treatment. It doesn't have to be the full service watch, but there needs to be some sort of value that you're giving out for free in exchange for whatever testimonials you are going to be getting from your clients or from your past clients. And it also helps with retention, especially if you do treatments. For instance, CCI, my company, right? So we do organizational effectiveness audits, right? So we do audits, and after we've done your audit, we've got a roadmap that we put together where we roadmap the plan on how to remedy the findings within a specific time frame. Post that time frame, I've got intervention programs that we also introduce to you. Now I'm upselling you and I'm still retaining the client. So we've got intervention programs that can assist you so you don't go back to what we've already established and what we're trying to solve, right? Post that, to retain the relationship, at 50%, I then give you an institutionalizing retainer fee. That's how you maintain relationships for a year. After a year, I'm the one that has helped you program your systems. I'm the one that has helped you come out of the gutter. Are you going to get another consulting firm to work with your business? Absolutely not. I give you great service. I'm always there. So make sure that you retain your clients through customer-centric thinking and methodologies, and practicalize them. Do what you say you will do. Okay, become efficient in that. And that's how, when it comes to services, you apply social proof. And that's what you're going to put on your socials. And also very important, I always say when I speak to my clients, especially small business owners, don't confuse your social media. Separate your persona from your business. I do my sessions on this profile because these are my sessions. This is a book I wrote. It's not my business. But I would never do a CCI session on my live. Absolutely not. Because I have so many personalities here, it becomes confusing when somebody who's serious about business is interested in doing business with me, and they come here and they find me talking about something that's totally off, something that's totally crazy, like, this one is not serious. So there is what we also call brand positioning. So as the owner of the business, you need to position yourself. Like, for instance, my Facebook is all business. I have no social life on Facebook. None whatsoever. You're not going to find my daughter there. You're not going to find me going out. You're not going to find me having a glass of wine. It is all business. Anything I say, I do, I think, I eat. I'll talk about my coaching sessions there. I'll talk about communication strategies. I'll talk about organizational effectiveness, all of that. So that's the brand on Facebook. That's who people see as Manel Scott. Nothing less, nothing more. It's business. It's strictly business. So make sure that your page that you're going to use for your business resonates with the content that you're putting there. As difficult as it could be. See, on TikTok, I can talk about anything, any day, anyhow. But I can't do that on my Facebook. I can't even comment on politics. Business people, stay away from commenting on politics. Stay away from it. You're a business person, focus on your business. Mo says, is your page your name on Facebook? Yes. So my name, Manel Scott, is my page. So anyone that can never be king of queens. So anyone that types Manel Scott in search of me for business, for work, for anything, and it's quite a deliberate and intentional thing that we do. You don't, on your fun and lifestyle and craziness, you don't use your real name, like your legal name, on those profiles, because you're going to look for jobs. You're going to have business partners. The first thing a business partner is going to do, especially in funding, they're going to look up your social media. I can tell you for free. I do that all the time. If my office sends me an MOA to sign, the first thing I'm doing is looking up the director. And if I find anything that, I'm not signing that MOA. I'll send it back to legal and tell them to review it and put so many clauses to protect us. And if you want to sign an MOA with me, Please do send. If you think there's an opportunity for collaboration, I'm happy to collaborate. But yeah, that's what everyone does. That's what businesses do. That's what companies do. That's what institutions do. That's what happens when you're even being investigated. So if your popular name is your business name, I don't know, but I wouldn't advise it. You need to also position yourself as a brand, position yourself as whatever you're selling. When people see Manel Scott, what do they see? That should tell you. But it shouldn't come from them to you. It should be what do I want people to see when they see my name? What do I want people to align my name with? So it's either you're an activist, like if I see Mutabi, for instance, I see Mopisha, I already know what it's about. It's about alopecia, right? So she's either an activist or a campaigner for alopecia, or is it a campaign? Is it you ask yourself a lot of things about this person, but you already have an idea. So when you see Manel Scott, author of Master Digital Persuasion, it has to do with comms, it has to do with the digital landscape. So am I present digitally? Do I still resonate the same messaging in my content? Yes or no? That is what we call brand positioning. What people can allude your name to or tie your name to. That's what your brand is. That's what your niche is. That's what you're communicating. So if people see me and they see me as, like for instance, on TikTok, people probably see me as a godly Han. I'm a godly Han. I'm a mom. I'm warm. I love people. I talk about everything, all topics. People misunderstand me for a feminist. People tend to misunderstand me for a feminist, but I believe that women have so much more to offer than what we're given to deal with, right? But people identify me with a lot of things on my TikTok, but you can't be that confused on my Facebook. It's quite straight and forward, and my LinkedIn. It's very straightforward as to what I do, how I do it, and what I stand for. Okay, so that's about social proof and how to leverage it. So just talking about Sipho Skincare brand, the challenges were that he was just struggling. He was not making sales. He was doing everything as he was told by all the influencers. Everyone comes on and like, join my life. If you've been posting every day and nothing is happening, join my life. And then here you're friends with whoever, you follow whoever. But I'm talking about generic attention that is caused by you understanding the psychology of everyone that grabs their phone and they browse through social media for like 2 hours, 3 hours. What's going to make them stay? What's going to make them listen? Okay. So once you understand social proof, you can apply it to your business, regardless of what business you are doing. And the impact to Sipho's business is that there was a remarkable turnover. People started buying. He even got stores that contacted him to ask to have his products on their shelves, all because of social proof and demand from social media. So anyone in this day and age who still thinks social media isn't important, I implore you to go do your homework. Check all the products that have gone viral on TikTok. How have they gone off the shelves? And in the space of time. This is something that would take traditional marketing maybe 2 to 3 years to break into the market. To even break into the market. I'm not even talking about breaking even on production and cost. No, to break into the market. It takes them so much longer. So you need to take advantage of social media. All right. Any questions that I might have missed? Any questions that you have on social proof? Do you want to tell us your experience on social proof? Do you have any questions before we move on to authority? I see I've got 2 guests, Mlweli and that have sent through requests. I'm going to bring you up. Mlweli, any questions? If you're shy to ask, on the panel, you're more than welcome to just drop it in the chat. I don't know if you I don't know if I've missed any questions, Halima, have I? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any questions so far on social proof? On social proof. So we're good with social proof. All right. If we're good with social proof, then for the remaining 25 minutes, because the sessions are only an hour long, we'll get right into authority and trusting experts. Right? We've seen this practiced, but you probably just think it's a casual thing, like people just do it. So talking about authority and trusting expert, what is this? So authority and trusting experts is a well-researched phenomenon. It's worked. And this breeds from how we were brought up as humans. You're brought up to believe that you need to respect authority, you need to respect your elders, you respect your parents, you trust your parents. If I tell my daughter that this is red at her age, right? If I tell her this mic cover is red, even if you can see it's black, she will start believing it's red. She will go out and argue that this color is red. That's the science of the psychology of human beings. We are so prone to believe, I don't know if that's a question, sorry, just pardon me. We're so prone to believe whatever experts say. I'll take a typical example. You're not feeling well, you visit the doctor, yeah? You get to the doctor, what you're going to do is tell the doctor how you're feeling. You're going to talk to him about symptoms, right? I feel a headache, my eyes feel dry, I have dizzy spells, this and that, this and that, this and that. And the doctor says to you, you're dehydrated. You take that. If I call you as you walk out of that consulting room and I ask you, Halim, I'm so worried about you. What's wrong with you? You're going to say, I'm just dehydrated. So you've now confirmed, without doing your own research on your symptoms, without trying to figure out what's actually wrong with me, but whatever the doctor says is what you will say is wrong with you. It's human nature. It's how the human mind, the human brain is made up. You'll believe authority at any given point in time. It doesn't matter, because you've been brought up to believe that whatever the doctor says is, he spent 7, 10, 14 years in medicine school. There is no way, in medical school, there is no way this guy is going to come lie to me. Why? Because he's an expert. So that's how human beings think. That's how human beings reason. And another reason we are so trusting of experts is because, in as much as we wouldn't want to admit it, we are lazy to do our own research and to critically think about information that is given to us. So we lean more to trusting experts because they've done the research for us. They've researched it. Why then should I? If a doctor says, I'm dehydrated, trust me, I'm definitely going to the pharmacy and I'm going to get myself some rehydrate solutions. I'm going to drink that. And because I have faith in the doctor's diagnostics, believe me, I'm going to feel much better after taking 3 hours after taking that rehydrate. I'll feel stronger. So that is what human beings do. We trust experts. So let's bring it down to the digital landscape. We're talking the psychology of Persuasion from my book, Master Digital Persuasion. And this is subsection 1.2 of chapter 1, where we talk about authority and trusting experts, right? So with authority and trusting experts, let's bring it back to the social media platforms. We have an expert that comes and talks about COVID. It was Professor Karim during COVID, when a lot of South Africans were saying that they're not going to be taking the vaccines because of all that propaganda that was surrounding vaccines. And yes, Professor Karim, vaccines, and why people should get vaccinated and why it's important for you to get vaccinated. South African government was struggling because the vaccination numbers kept on dropping, the stats kept on dropping, because people now were skeptical of why they should go get vaccinated. And Professor Karim came in, a professor who has been working with various viruses for years, I think over 30 years on his badge of working with viruses and understanding viruses, how they mutilate, what the risks are. And he explained that to us in a confident and comforting manner, that we now put our guts down and we're queuing up to get vaccinated because no one wanted to contract COVID and it became a critical condition. And people started lining up. Why? Because an expert came and spoke to them about it. Situations like that. I'll take another typical example. On the social media platforms, we've got influencers. Now, influencers wouldn't be, let's not say influencers as experts, but let me go back to Mopisha again. I made the same example in my Facebook live last week, was that I was emceeing for Mopisha at one of their campaign events, and they got experts. Mutabi got experts to come speak. And I kid you not, during that time, it is the experts that had the most of everyone's attention during the entire session that we had, because people will pay attention to an expert because the experts remove the risks around everything we could ever think about concerning a specific subject. So having an expert in the room or having an expert talk about your product gives you credibility online. And we all know in sales, you are taught people buy from people they like and they trust. So liking the product, you get people to like it through social proof. They're going to like it because this resonates with my problem and this looks like a solution to my problem. But you're going to have people trust you through pulling in an expert. It could be a 30-second video of an expert saying anything, talking about your product. For instance, the person that forwarded the book, people, you until you meet Dr. Tal Edgars, if he hears me say that, he will strangle so he's got a lot of prefix, so I have to go back and look at them every time I talk about him because it's a lot. So it's Dr. Professor, His Excellency Professor Dr. Ambassador Tal Edgars, PhD. Well, Leonard Band. He's the Group Executive Chairman of GBSH Consult Group. Everyone that has bought and read my book has asked me, how did this gentleman forward my book? So that's the level of credibility that the book carries. So every time you're looking to build credibility, it's important for you to pull in an expert. Pull in an expert into your product, into your business. Let them talk about your product. Let them talk about your business. And you can use the same strategy. Please try out Please read my book. I've done that a lot with institutions. I've sent the book to institutions, postgraduate institutions, and I'm like, I want my book to be shared in their leadership programs. Please read it and give me a review of the book and see if there's an opportunity for me to collaborate with the institution. Once they put a stamp on the book that gives credibility, do you know how many people will buy the book from various institutions? Because it's been recommended by a lecturer, or it's been recommended by a supervisor that they're doing research with. All of this is trust in authority and experts. Okay, so that's how you then pull in experts into it, trusting the experts, let them talk about your product. What does your product do? Your services. What do your services do? They don't necessarily have to talk specifically about your entire brochure. For instance, if I render a service to your business and I ask you to just throw in a casual video or talking about my business at your talk, if you've got a speakers forum, like for instance, I do this with Mopicia all the time. I use Mopicia for my trusting experts scenario because it resonates with the book, right? That is free. Mopicia could extract that part of the clip and share it as an advertising strategy. What does that do? Not only do the viewers that get to see the video, will they now know, well, Maneo sounds like she knows what she's talking about when it comes to this trusting an expert thing on digital marketing. Let me give her a ring and find out if she can give me a communication strategy for my business or for my campaign or for my product, right? So it's a two-way thing. And that's why I keep on going back to one of the other principles that I talk about, which is the give and take principle. So that is trusting experts. Always pull in an expert for credibility and trust, because people buy from people they like and trust. And most importantly, experts will help you retain your attention. Pull in experts on your life. I remember one time I was talking to Mo while she was planning the campaign. And I said to her, get lives. Get onto a live, get everyone, get your sponsors there. Get packaged, what's this? Goodie bags from them. You know, that's how you draw in the crowd. And I'm telling you, her ticket sales from doing that repetitively skyrocketed. I think it was full and people were still buying tickets. So all the strategies I'm talking about are in the book. And I wish she was here. I think she probably fell off. I wish she was here so she could just give a testimony on, she might have not read the book, but a testimony on how the applied strategies that I shared with her worked for her during her time of ticketing. So it's to everything. And that's why I say the principles I share in the book are blueprints, and I know them off by heart. Like, you could meet me in the mall and tell me what your problem is. I promise you, I would literally be able to, oh, Mo, you're here. Do you mind? Can you come up and just quickly tell us how the strategies helped you, if you don't mind. But if you're not in a position to do it, if you're in a loud space, it's fine. You'll do it for me next time. But with the principles, I know them off by heart. If I meet you in the mall and you say to me, this is an issue you have, I'll be more, don't stop me in the mall, guys. Don't stop me in the mall. I'm a very shy person in public. I don't want to be stopped. Don't stop me in the mall. Don't stop me. Rather send me a DM. I will definitely respond to your DM. But these are strategies that you can apply. Or most importantly, you can just reach out to me in my DMs and grab yourself a copy of the book. Like I said, it comes in soft and hard copy. Soft copy is available to you immediately. And with the hard copy, we do have copies available, but obviously depending on courier and which courier you prefer, it might take a longer time for you to get it. Maybe within a week, it depends. We use Courier Guy and Paxi, so you can just grab your own copy so that even next week when we come back and have the sessions, you're able to then say, I read this part of the book and this is what it said. What does it mean? I'd really love for the sessions to be interactive, for you to ask questions. Absolutely, Halima. People tend to listen to experts' review on products. For instance, an expert's review can either make or break your business. So if, for instance, we see it happen a lot on TikTok. You put out a product and someone buys the product, and only to find that that person is a dermatologist. Your product was so hyped. And that's why I'm like, use the strategies ethically. If you know you're selling a second-hand product, don't try it, because you will get the attention, you will get the sales, and you don't want to kill your brand before it even starts. So work on your product, make sure that the quality of the product you're putting out there is good. All right. And then apply the strategies to build an empire, to build a business. Okay. So next week, are there any questions on authority? Are there any questions on trusting experts before I talk about what we'll be discussing next week? Any questions, any comments? Thank you so much, guys. Oh, we got 5,300 likes in today's live. Thank you. And thank you so much for all the gifts. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. God bless you. So for next week, we're going to be looking at reciprocity, which is the give and take effect that I kept on hinting on when I spoke about social proof and I spoke about authority, trusting experts. So we're going to be talking reciprocity, the give and take effect. And we're going to talk about commitment and consistency, staying true to the choices, which is what, oh, Terrain Billionaire, hello. So I'm talking about, we're just literally doing a browse through the book. So every week on Fridays at 9 p.m. South African time, I go through the book. I talk about different sections from within the book. So we're still doing chapter 1. We started with social proof and authority, which is trusting experts. And next week, we're going to be looking at 2 other sections of chapter 1 or 3. I think we should do all of them because we're going to be looking at 2 other sessions. It's a lot for an hour so that we don't miss out on anything. So we'll be talking reciprocity and reciprocity. So, guys, tautology, I'm tired. It's been a long day. Reciprocity, the give and take effect. And we're going to talk commitment and consistency, which is staying true to your choices next week, Friday. If you apply these principles, I don't care what you're selling. I don't care what you're selling, whether product, whether service, whether you're doing events, whether you're trying to position yourself as an influencer, whether you're trying to position yourself as a brand, you're trying to rebrand yourself. You've just walked into a new season in your life and you're trying to focus and be this person. How do I reposition and rebrand yourself? You can apply these principles. Okay, Manel, I've got multiple products. How do I then position myself throughout all multiple products? Talk about everything, faceless marketing. I'm going to be talking about all of this, on how to have multiple personalities on the social media landscape. All of that we're going to be covering throughout the pages of this book. But I'm very excited about next week. As you've heard me, even during Social Proof, I was talking about the give and take effect. There is no way. It's a principle, guys. It's a principle. You have to give so you receive. And the nice part of the give and take effect is you're giving once, you receive value for a longer period. Like I said, with the reviews that you'll get back, you can keep those reviews, you can keep circulating or spread them out for 6 months, and you have maybe a biannual give out of vouchers for your services, so you can get those reviews. You're not just going to sell me your product and ask me to review it. Absolutely not. You see it on Shein. Shein gives you points for reviewing their product that you can convert into cash when you purchase, or you can convert into products when you purchase of the same service provider. So also that's the give and take. So big entities are using it. Why are you not using it in your business? Because you don't know. And that's why I'm here. Because in the 13 years of consulting experience, I've come to know that the Black child, and I'm not saying that my lives or my book is just for the Black children, but the Black child has not been exposed to the secrets and the real core of businesses and how to manage business and strategically build sustainable businesses. And it's not that you don't have a good product. It's not that you're not offering services that solve problems within our communities. It's because you don't know how to put your services and products out there, or to grab their attention, or how to position yourself. You end up downplaying yourself. You end up under costing on services. And that's exactly what would happen out of desperation to generate sales. You're going to say there's a 50% sale, and meanwhile, you spend so much to get those. So you're just looking to break even. That's not sustainable in a business. If you're selling a high value product, you're selling a high value product, position it as a high value product. And that's why I'm saying, please use the strategies that I share and the principles that I share in the book ethically. Don't go buy a grade Z product and want to sell it and apply all the strategies and end up selling garbage. Because ultimately, I always say, I only deal, even with my mentees, I literally deal with people that are looking to build legacies, and not just to build, to generate income. Because if you're trying to generate income and that's it, there's no need to build a brand. You can just sell. You can just sell what you have. But if you're building a brand that you want the brand to outlive you, then you need to follow the principles. Okay, so I talk about various principles. Just a quick example about service. So I started this mentorship program last year with the Mentorship Boardroom, it's a whole lot of us, and we put ourselves out there for free. We put ourselves out there to mentor entrepreneurs. And I think last year alone, I got about almost 20 requests for people to mentor. But because of the constraint of time and how hectic my schedule is, Halima would kill me if I was to take up 20 mentees. She would finish me. So I think I took 4, I think, last year. And this year we've started the paid version, right? And I got, I'm going to try hide the number. Oh no, she mentioned her name. I would have shared the message. But I got a WhatsApp from one of my mentees asking, because last year she had asked to pause the program because she wanted to be a speaker. She aspires to be a speaker professionally, and I was coaching her on that. And she got quite a few engagements, but got a job whilst we were busy with the program, and she wanted to focus on the job. And I wouldn't, at that time, I was thinking, yeah, it's quite reasonable for her to focus on the new work, because I would have an expectation, because I give my mentees deliverables. And the next time I meet you, I want results because I know my principles, once applied, they come out with results. So if you didn't put in the work, there's no reason for me to sit there. You're not paying me. I'm doing this because I'm passionate about it, because I love entrepreneurs. If you don't come back with the results, or you're not putting in the effort that is required, that means we're wasting each other's time. And for me, time is not a commodity I'm willing to play with. So she comes back to me and says, well, okay, so you will remember I had asked to pause coaching while I transitioned into work. Well, I feel adjusted now and would love to get into my speaker bag again. I hope it's still on the table. Please let me know if you're available for this and how we can take it forward. And I read this to say to you how you deal with people. There is no way. If you gave me outstanding service, I can imagine how many people she has told about me in my coaching sessions. And I remember in one of my master classes, she also was there facilitating. So it's social proof. So she's going to talk about it. She's going to tell them what impact I've had in her speaking career. You know, now, last year she had to take a break. Now Halima has to tell me if I have time, and Halima's very strict with my time. Halima's my assistant, so she might come back to me and say, no, this year you're not doing mentoring, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. But She knows I love helping, but I've got a whole crew of volunteers in my company that we're mentoring and incubating there. So I could easily say that's an excuse. But ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely thank you. Thanks, Mo. I sincerely thank you for joining our live tonight. This brings us to the end of tonight. So if there are no questions on social proof and trusting experts under authority, please, I'm going to be doing this every Friday at 9 p.m. So do join me. Grab your copy of the book. If you haven't grabbed a copy of the book, send me a DM, guys. I'm quite responsive on my TikTok DMs. Hey, if you're talking about business or you're saying something that makes sense, if you're talking about other things, guys, I'm not that girl. I'm not that girl. Try next door. Not me. I'm not that girl. Try next door. So if you're interested in grabbing yourself a copy of the book, just drop me a DM, and don't forget to follow and like my posts. Hi, Glenty. We'll get the book hopefully before Black Friday so we can get to interact more. I'd love that more. I'd love that. I'd definitely love that. So grab yourself a copy of the book. The book goes for $480. But for my live clients, I take off 100 rands. So for my live clients, if you come on and we check, don't go tell your friends that I was giving away the book for $380 on the live, and your friends come, because I still get a list of who my audience were. So, and that's why we have Halima here. She doesn't work overtime, right, Halima? You don't, but yeah, for my lives, you're here. So I will get if you are on the live, you get to buy the book for $380. But off the shelf, or if anybody else wants the book, they get it for 480 rands. This is for the hard copy. And the digital copy, if you are on the live, I also take off 100 rands, so you can get it for 280 for the digital copy. But if you get it off my live, it is then 380 rands. Thank you so much. I enjoyed being with you guys. I'm hoping that next week we'll have more interaction. We'll share more experiences. We'll make it more, we'll make it an experience, so that I can answer a lot of your questions, because that's why I'm here. So if you need any clarity around it, and of course, if there's something that we've shared today that you're not clear about, I'll make sure that in the next session, because this was actually a first session, that in the next session we do give like 5 minutes of time just to go back, recap on what we spoke about today. And if you have any questions, then you'll be given an opportunity to ask, and we will definitely answer those questions for you. For tonight, thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the 6,400 likes. Thank you for tapping that screen. Thank you for all the gifts that we received tonight. Greatly appreciated. Until next week, Friday, same time, I'm out. Goodbye.